Hello and welcome to another entry in Dean's Diary. Today I want to talk about the benefits of fasting that I don't hear so many other people talking about. Because when I started doing 3-day water fasts, everyone thought I was nuts. They thought, why are you doing this? It's some crazy crash diet, isn't it? It's some kind of fad that you got involved in. You know, it's risky, it's dangerous. Why don't you lose weight in a more safe, healthy way? So the reason that I started fasting wasn't to do with losing weight. What got me into fasting was a science program called Horizon. One of the episodes of Horizon, they covered fasting and the science behind it and longevity. And the bit that really stuck with me is when they came to people who suffered from Laurent syndrome. Now, these people who suffered from it, there's very few of them in the world. I think they were in Ecuador. And they would only grow to about 3 or 4 feet high. But what really interested scientists about these people was that they were almost immune to all the diseases and illnesses that we get. So they hardly ever suffered from cancer. They hardly ever suffered from type 2 diabetes. Hardly ever had any kind of heart disease or problems with their heart. And also strokes were very, very rare for them. And this is despite the fact that they lived really unhealthy lifestyles. So they were eating fried foods, smoking, they were overweight, they didn't do any exercise, and yet they didn't pay any consequences for it. In fact, they looked 10 years younger than you'd expect them to be. They were functioning at a level that was 10 years younger than them. Even their brains were aging slowly. So they were aging slowly, they were young for their age, and they were healthy. And the scientists were thinking, how does this happen? What are they doing? What's their body doing that's allowing them to be so healthy despite their lifestyle? Bit more water. And what they found, it was due to something called insulin-like growth factor 1, which is a hormone, which they abbreviate to IGF-1. What they found, people who have Laurent syndrome, they're exposed to very small amounts of IGF-1. Whereas in the West, most of us, we have very high levels of IGF-1. And the reason is to do with our diets. We eat quite a lot of food, we eat a lot of protein, and what this does, this creates a lot of IGF-1, which sends a signal to our cells to grow, to multiply. So we're constantly in this growth mode in the West. We're eating a lot, especially a lot of protein, and our cells are multiplying. And the problem with that is that while they're multiplying so quickly, our bodies can't fix damaged cells. They can't fix the DNA in cells, they can't recycle cells, they can't do all the important repair and maintenance that's required to keep our bodies healthy. Bit more water. Whereas those with the Laurent syndrome, they had very low levels of IGF-1. And as a result, their body was permanently stuck in this repair and maintenance mode. And it was doing a fantastic job of protecting them, of making them almost immune to all of these diseases and illnesses. So of course the first thing scientists thought, is there anything we can learn from this? Is there a way that we can reduce IGF-1 in our own bodies so that we can also experience this repair and maintenance mode? And what they found is, yeah, we can do it through diet. One of the main ways we can do it is through fasting. If we do, say, a 3-day water fast once a month, then for those 3 days, the IGF-1 levels in our body drop, and we put our body effectively into the garage for 3 days a month. Oh, sorry, more water. So fasting is an excellent way for us to naturally heal our bodies, to give our body a chance to sort out anything that's wrong and fix all the damaged cells. Another thing that's important is to go easy on protein. High levels of protein actually stimulate the growth of IGF-1. So you have to ideally eat a low protein diet, plant-based ideally as well, and include fasting with your diet. And that's pretty much the diet I'm on, the longevity diet. So fasting actually for me is not so much about losing weight, it's more about the other health benefits of aging more slowly, of being more resilient to illnesses and diseases. For example, I used to always be ill. I'd catch every cold going, I'd be in bed for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Other people would just shake it off in 3 days, but I couldn't do that. And then I found when I started fasting, that just came to an end. I stopped being ill, and even if I did catch something, I'd get rid of it within about 2 days without too much problem. And I noticed that that went on for the whole time I was fasting until the Christmas period. Then I stopped fasting and started eating a lot, and then I became ill again. It reminded me, oh, I'm back to the bad old days now. And that's kept me fasting since then, because I found it so effective to actually fight off colds, fight off illnesses. The other thing that I remember in the program was about the effect that fasting had on the brain. When we go through a period of fasting, the body thinks, I need to put more resources into the mind. It thinks, I need to figure out how to find food, where to find food. And it'll be easier to do that if I can get my mind working more sharply, if I get it more focused, if I can get the memory to work better. So they've found when people do fasting for periods of time, it actually sharpens their mind as well. It keeps the mind young and possibly protects the mind from all kinds of afflictions such as Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's. So that's another area that scientists are working on with fasting. So there are enormous amount of health benefits from fasting. So rather than it being crazy, it's switched more now to the fact that if you can fast and if it's a healthy option for you, be crazy not to fast. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. So that's it for today. Thanks very much. Bye. Namaste. You can go and practice your yoga now. Bye.